All right, today we're going to do a follow-up on two 500i's. This first one was Dirty Filthy Nasty, and it's in for performance work. This one was the one that was straight gassed. And by the way, thanks everybody. This video has a significant amount of views to it, well above average for me. It's like 12,000 views or something. So we're going to put the straight gas 500i back together, and then we're going to do the performance work on this, and we'll have a little cut video at the end. Stay tuned. All right, so still working on the ported saw here. Got my port work done. Obviously machine work's been done. Little tiny bit of intake work, a little bit of exhaust work. You know, just here's a stock jug just to put it, you know, I mean, that's not massive. I didn't hog that out. It's really not that necessary. Some people go way overboard. Intake, there's your stock intake port, and I've added a little bit of area to the ported version. Obviously, you know, with the machine base and combustion chamber, you're going to have more compression. We're going to make some more power like that. All right, got the muffler done, port matched, baffle trimmed. I used to actually drill the spot rivets off of here, but I've had a couple of them rattled loose, and there's just, this metal's really thin for making the saw lightweight, and it's just better to leave the baffle in and just clearance around it, so it's not restricted or anything. Full package is getting a bark box, 3-point dogs, foam air filter from West Coast Saw. These fit underneath your standard air filter kit, so you get, I'll show you when I put it on. You just oil that, put the cage over the top of it, and there's an extra heavy duty sealing ring compared to what the factory gives you is this little piece of foam that will deteriorate, will break down, will crumble, and you'll start getting chips right through there where the filter goes in. So this is a really nice upgrade. Nice work, Gordy. Got a fair amount done. I was getting ready to put the recoil back on, and then I happened to notice, here, let me, I don't know if you can tell, try this. You shouldn't, the center hole is worn out, and then also, I'll take you in a little tighter so you can see. So, you see how much wiggle's in there? It's not supposed to be like that. Moreover, when this pulls out, this pocket that holds the pawl in has got a lot of play in it. Now this will work. The only problem is when this lets go, because these pull out too far, the whole thing grenades and piles into right here and gets chewed up like a ginormous food processor. So before we have a catastrophic failure of the pull cord system, I've got a new rope rotor, and we'll throw some new pawls in there, new clip, new everything, get that tidy. Okay, this air cleaner system will fit the 500 and the 661, but that's it. Okay, so that's all he's got so far as I know. This is the washer that replaces the little cheesy foam thing, and it's a rubbery, nice rigid thing. The flat side goes down. You just roll that over and stick it. I need both hands to really get that pressed down. And then we'll take the cage off of this. I use Bel-Ray. Excuse all the stuff that's, so that doesn't say this stuff's tacky as all get out. I prefer the liquid as opposed to the aerosol version of the Bel-Ray foam filter oil. This is one of those, you know, what was that, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This one's too hot, this one's too cold, this one's just right. So not too much, not too little, something in the middle. I'm going to do this in a Ziploc bag, just pour some of the oil in there and just keep kneading it until, you know, I've got good coverage, but like when you squeeze it, it just doesn't drip out, or, you know, you're wasting stuff in between your fingers. All right, so that's well coated. Sometimes you can almost see, if I squeeze it, I get You see how tacky that stuff is, man. Stuff works great, lasts a long time. I got my washer seated down there. That slides on. It slides on over it. And I'll probably need both hands to push that down and get it to seat in. But all that fits squarely underneath your factory filter cover. Pretty slick. You know, it always seems like there's just one more thing. Anyway, there's a, you won't be able to see it too terribly well, but down in there, there's a spring roll pin that needs to be pushed down so you can get full, I don't know. Oh gosh. Oh, that's because so I had the oiler turned all the way up, which you can't do. Look at that. So the factory puts that spring roll pin right there, the little round hole. You just need to push that down. Just use, you know, a small punch or something like that and just tap it in flush. So that way you can go from, you know, minimum bar oil like that to maximum bar oil. This one needs it done too, but without making this video too much longer, we've got our brand hammer new OEM piston. This is our cleaned up cylinder from where it was straight gassed, and we're going to put all that on that. Again, that was a brand hammer new piston. Everything was sealed. Box doesn't look too terribly badly manhandled. You ain't gonna believe this. This is a first for me, ever. So it looks like at some point in time, this got dinged. Here, let me get something to point with. And you might be able to see the mark right there. And it was just enough to push up this into the ringland. Might need to, now that I'm looking at this under magnification, let's see if I can't wipe that off with my thumb. Those are low spots. That's smooth. But anyway, the ring was binding. Like when you were trying to compress it, it would stick right here and then not let go. So anyway, both of these are nice and free moving. So when it heats up, I don't have to worry about anything. And I think I'll catch that one little nub right there. But, you know, the grand scheme of things, I should have just gave it back to the dealer and said, hey, that's bad. But that was an easy fix. And then just clearanced it, sanded it, and buffed it. Through the modern magic of YouTube, both of these saws are back together. Here's our half wrap version, fully ported, machined, yada, yada, yada. Bark box, dogs, foam air filter, full wrap handlebar, bone stock, spark arresters in there, brand new piston, not broken in. Let's go run them. Alrighty, let's put the bar on the other chainsaw and let's see. Not bad for a dumb old redneck. I know a lot of people goof on comments and sorry that's so grainy. I don't know how it's gonna come in. He said I ran everything at 32-to-1 and I had a bunch of carbon, but granted I used cheap oil. So now I'm running 50-to-1 steel oil. Come on, man, you gotta do better. And then the 880, I ran the stock against it. Your chain must be sharper. More I talk, the dumber I get. So with our full wrap handlebar, that's what we started with. Straight gassed 500i. And poof, all back together. Ported saw runs good, and he should be happy with all his new bling. All right, thanks for watching today. You know, I hardly ever ask, but, you know, like, share, subscribe, do that, something, share it. I don't care. Something, if you're still here at the end. Every little bit helps. I could show you my analytics, but it's amazing. You load a video, and your view count goes up, and then within like 48 hours, poof. So help me get a little traction. Always appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Thank you very much for watching.